I have a confession to make. I'm a liar, right? Because I said I wasn't going to start rewatching Supernatural anytime soon, right? Because I finished it in April, if you all recall. There's no easy way to say this. I just finished watching the entire first season on Blu-ray in the course of a week. So let's get into how that happened. So here's the thing. My dad wanted something to do over Father's Day weekend when I went to visit him. And we don't have anything to watch together anymore. He's seen everything. He's a total TV guy. Honestly, he's seen twice as many TV shows as I have. And forget movies, he's seen them all. And so I'm like always at a loss of what to do when I'm over there. We used to watch TV shows together all the time in high school. That was like our activity. But it's been a long time since we've had like a show to watch together. And I was going over there for a few days and he's like, well, why don't we start Supernatural? Because like, you're clearly obsessed with it. So I don't know, maybe I'll like it. And I'm like, oh, you definitely will like it because it's two brothers road tripping across America in a classic car, hunting monsters, set to classic rock music. And he was like, perfect, sign me up. And I'm like, you betcha. So I brought over my box set because I was like, this is the perfect opportunity for me to use these Blu-rays, which, as I know from everybody telling me, season 1 is fully different on the Blu-rays because the music is the original music. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool, like the original music instead of the awful stock music that Netflix uses, which is how I watched it and how a lot of people have watched it. I'm like, that'll be cool to see like some different, music. The quality will be better because it's Blu-ray instead of like the horrible compression Netflix does. That's a video for another time. And I was like, great, I can see like the 35 millimeter film as it was intended to be seen with the original music, and I can share it with my dad for the first time. Perfect. So that's what we did. And I was thinking, okay, well, I'll show him like the first few, and if he's not feeling it, I'm not going to pressure him to watch anymore because, why would I do that? He loved it. We ended up watching like, I don't know, a good chunk of the first half of season 1 over the few days that I was there. And then unfortunately, like, I had to set him up with Netflix to continue watching without me because he definitely wants to continue watching. But then I came back home and was like, what if I just kept going, What if I just kept pressing play? So that's what I did. It started off as, well, I'll just like watch the next one so that I'm caught up with him so that I can like discuss it with him over the phone. So like I know what's going on. Anyways, I watched the whole thing in a week. And I'm deep diving, you guys, because now that I don't have to worry about spoilers, I'm watching the Blu-rays, which by the way, are beautiful. It's so good, you guys. I'm going to do a separate video on the actual differences between the Blu-rays and the Netflix streaming version, but it is like watching a whole brand new show. It's gorgeous. As a filmmaker, fan, as an actor, as someone who just loves the art of like television making and stuff, it is incredible. The original music elevates the show to a degree that I did not foresee. And it was such a special moment, like revisiting these characters that now I love, because the first round I was like, who are these people? I don't know. I mean, I loved it immediately, but there's a whole different vibe when you know the full context of the story and then you go back to the beginning and you're like, oh my God, they were so young and innocent, and like, it really made me emotional in ways that I did not plan. There were several times when I was on my own that I had to pause and just be like, sit with my feelings, because I have gone through so much watching this show for the first time and entering this fandom in the last 8 months, and revisiting the season that started it all back in October was like so nostalgic and so special. And somehow it's better the second time around. How is that even possible? I'm like, I love this more the second time around. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think that was gonna happen. So it's been a roller coaster of a week. Somehow I've also managed to start Criminal Minds for the first time, which is a whole different subject. So I'm watching Criminal Minds and rewatching Supernatural at the same time. It's great up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, the brain is really braining. But truthfully, it's so great to be able to share this show with friends and family. I have other friends who are going to be picking it up for the first time soon. I'm so excited for them. And now I'm literally about to go bring my Blu-ray player, it's my PS4. I'm about to bring my PS4 and my box set around the city of Los Angeles so everyone can experience season 1 on DVD for the first time, because it's that serious, to me at least. It's that serious to me. And now I guess I'm rewatching. And when I mentioned earlier, I'm deep diving. So now I'm like fully reading the Wikipedia pages, or the fan wiki pages, which has a bunch of like trivia and fun facts on it, which are really cool. I am also like tracking it on an app called Serialized for myself, like making notes for each episode so I can remember kind of what happens, because there's so many. And I'm also doing this crazy tally. The people on Twitter know. I'm doing this crazy tally that I had an idea for during my first watch that I'm so glad I remembered to do, because it's endlessly amusing to me. And it might not be amusing to anyone else, but I'm tracking the amount of times certain things happen in fight sequences, because there's such a pattern of like certain things happening to the Winchesters that I'm like, I need a tally at the end of this show of how many times these things happen. So I'm tracking how many times Sam or Dean get like flung across the room and like make contact with a wall. So you know the amount of times they're like flung into the air and they like collide with a wall or a bookshelf or something. In order to count, they have to actually fully be lifted up off the ground and make contact with something. They can't just like slide across the floor or be pushed up into a wall. If I were to count all those things, I would not be able to, right? So I had to give it some parameters. But counting that many for each character, then I'm counting how many times they're like knocked unconscious, because I think like the amount of times these boys are knocked unconscious is crazy. So I'm keeping track of that. How many times they're choked out, how many times they're tied up. That's a high number as well. And then I do have like a bonus category that was voted on via Twitter of how many times Dean takes a drink, which is like not funny because the man is low-key an alcoholic in the later seasons. But you know, it's what the fans wanted. So I'm like, we're gonna count that. And the numbers are already pretty moderate. I won't lie. Actually, there is not one time that I was able to record. I might have missed one scene, but like Dean doesn't take a drink the whole first season. He's in places with alcohol, but he's not seen drinking at all the first season, which was wild to me because that increases in later seasons quite a lot. So I've been doing that. And I've also been listening to the Rewatch podcast with Rob and Rich, the Supernatural Then and Now. So now I'm like, because I don't have to worry about spoilers, because they definitely have spoilers in this podcast for like future seasons, I can like watch the episodes and then batch listen to a bunch of the podcasts, which has been awesome. So now I'm like I'm really getting into it, you guys, right? And it's so much fun. I don't know why I was like, trying to hold back on rewatching it, because it's really truly bringing me so much joy. And I have oh sorry, I keep bumping this. I have no intention of like blasting through it at the speed in which I blasted through it the first time. Like I'm just, whenever I feel like it, right? Whenever I need a night of comfort watching, I'll watch a few. It's certainly not every night. There are other shows that I'm watching, Criminal Minds being one of them. And, you know, I'm keeping up on The Boys and House of the Dragon. I've got a couple other things that are on right now. But, like, it's so nice to have that option. And I get why people rewatch this show now. Like, I've never been a rewatcher. I don't have comfort shows that I revisit. If I had to pick one, I would think maybe it's Doctor Who. But I've only seen Doctor Who all the way through twice. And the last time I rewatched it was, like, 2020. So, I'm not a big repeat watcher girl, but we might be breaking that with this show. This might be the first comfort show I've ever had, which is concerning given that none of these characters have experienced a day of comfort ever in their lives. Anyways, this has been a crazy ramble video. I'm not editing this. It is what it is. You get what you get. Take it or leave it. I don't know. Hope everyone's having a good month. I'm gonna do a separate video on the like side-by-side differences of the Blu-rays and the Netflix version for certain scenes. But I actually have to like edit that and stuff, so it's gonna take a minute. But that's coming next, just so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about, because it's wild. It's wild. Okay, anyways. Bye!